Hey, kings, queens, everything between. Welcome back to another episode of One Time for a Good Time. And today I want to talk about something extremely personal that's happening to me right now. I don't know if you saw the video of where I ranted about the healthcare system, and I was telling you guys just a little bit about how I'm currently going through something, and it's really been a damper on my mental health and physical health. I really was not going to make a video about this because this is very, very hard for me. But seeing the mental obstacles I'm currently going through and the thoughts I'm having and the experience I'm having, I wanted to make this for the people that currently have it or that will come after me have the support system and the support blanket that they need to get through this. So I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'm just going to take you through to where I am today. September 7th, 2022. The reason I know this so well is because that is my birthday. I woke up and I saw what looked like could be a razor bump on my upper thigh. I didn't pay it any mind because a week prior to that, I shaved, and I am very prone to razor bumps, so I just let it be. As days went on, what I thought was a razor bump got bigger. It started to fill with pus. It started to look very nasty. I still didn't pay it any mind, but I did start to treat it with ointment and other things. And then after 2 days of it looking like that, the next morning I woke up with 70 bumps all over my body. Torso, upper thighs, armpits, covering my breast, and a lot on my back. I immediately started to freak out because I never had anything like this happen before, and I start to freak out. One day I have one bump that looks nasty and I think it's going to go away, and then the next morning I wake up with literally 70 bumps on my body. So I'm panicking. I go, to family members, and I'm showing them what my body looks like, and it looks disgusting. I'm talking about just red bumps all over. And I'm not trying to, tell too much information, but it's hard when you go from having your body be your favorite physical attribute to having it be the most ugliest thing you ever seen. Like, my skin was so smooth, so perfect, and I genuinely, and still to this day, I genuinely feel like I'm a mixture between the Beauty and the Beast. Like, from the neck up, I'm pretty, but from the neck down, I'm the Beast, and that really affected me a lot, and it still does. And so I went to the emergency room because not only did I have 70 bumps all over my body, but they burned so bad, like almost as if I was being eaten alive by fire ants. And I could not sleep. Like, I would lay in bed and I would cry, not only because my body looked ugly, but because the irritation was so bad and so aggressive that I couldn't sleep. All I could do was scratch. And so before I went to the emergency room, I brought some allergy ointment because I thought I was having an allergic reaction to something. And then fast forward back to the emergency room, I get there, and the doctors, the first doctor, he looked at me and he did exactly, unconsciously, of course, but he did exactly what I didn't want him to do. Even though he tried to cover it up, he, when I took off my shirt and my clothes to show him this rash, his eyes bulged, and you could tell it was like a disgust, but he, tried to cover it up professionally. And he examined me, and, he genuinely looked at me and was like, I do not know what's going on. He diagnosed me with an allergic reaction, gave me some steroids to take. It was a light dosage. I think it was 10 milligrams steroids to take for 6 days. That did nothing. Within the third day of me taking that steroid, those 70 bumps expanded to 250. And now it was raising from where it originally was. It was raising to my neck and getting lower on my legs. So I immediately freak out. The burning is so aggressive. Like, it hurts. Like, hurts so bad. And I'm running through cortisone tubes like no one else. And so I go back to another doctor, and he examines me, and he's stumped as well. He's like, listen, I do not know what is happening to you, but I will give you prednisone. And so he put me on 25 milligrams of that. And I noticed the bumps and the itching subsided a lot. And the bumps started to go away. But he only put me on prednisone for 6 days. So on the 6th day, and he recommended me to a dermatologist and was like, listen, you need to get in there ASAP. This is hence what made me make that healthcare system video, because I couldn't get into the dermatologist. Anyway, so when the prednisone was up, the bumps came back way more severe. The itching came back way more aggressive. And so I'm calling around to every dermatologist in my area, damn near in the state. And I'm like, can you please get me in? Because not only, like I said, my body looks like a freaking monster, but I can't think. I can't do normal day activities. I can't even do my proper motor skills because the itching made everything so distracting that all I wanted to do was lay in bed. I couldn't fully perform well at my job. I couldn't even take a shower because the water made me burn. Like, it got to a point where I would just lay there and just be so suicidal because I just wanted the itching and the burning to stop. And I wanted my body to get back to what it was. And so finally, I'll say a week after I posted the healthcare system video, I finally got a doctor, a dermatologist to see me. And I go in there. I'm so happy. I could like fucking cry because this is what I've been waiting for like since I first noticed this rash was developing. So I go into the dermatologist and I take off my clothes. I show her this huge, disgusting rash, and she's looking at me like, oh my God, like, what is going on with you? And so she's trying to figure out, what's going on. She's asking me questions. She's asking me, have I eaten anything? Am I using any type of detergents? Am I, whatever. And so at first, when she saw me, she thought that I had HIV. And that broke my spirit because, I've only ever had sex with condoms, and I also get tested very regularly. And so she immediately thought that this was a case of HIV. And I made it clear to her, like, no, ma'am, like, I only use protection. And the last time I had sex, I had an STD test and I came back clear for everything. And so when I expressed that to her, she was like, okay, then it's probably not that. So then she calls in another dermatologist that's in the building. And then that dermatologist comes in, she examines me, looks at all the bumps, looks at everything. And her and my doctor step out for a second. And they're talking. It is what it is. And I'm feeling extremely insecure, extremely self-conscious because, like I said, I'm ugly. Like, I look bad. And so they come in and they, sit down and they're like, listen, I think you have Pityriasis rosea. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what is Pityriasis rosea? And she expresses that it's a viral infection that happens inside of you. And usually what happens is if a person gets sick a month prior to catching Pityriasis rosea, a month after they catching the sickness, it shows up, and it's pretty much your body fighting off the infection that you received, the cold you received. And so I like damn near break out in tears because now I have a diagnosis for something that's been living with me, and I didn't know what it was for, like, I'll say a couple weeks. And so now I'm thinking like, oh my God, like I can get a cream, I could get a shot, I can get medication, I could get something to get rid of all these bumps. And she sits me down and she's like, listen, like there's nothing we can do. Like, you know, we can give you stuff for the itching, but Pityriasis rosea is so mysterious to doctors that, you know, we're still studying it. She was saying they don't know how someone gets it. They don't know where it comes from. It just pops up. And so now I'm thinking like, oh my God, is my body going to look like this forever? Like, is this going to be my new normal? And she said, the lucky thing about it is that everyone that has ever been diagnosed with Pityriasis rosea, one day they wake up and the bumps is just gone. You know, they just start to disappear, but there's no set time of when that happens. For some people, it happens in weeks. Some people, it happens in months. Some people, it happens in years. And so that gave me a lot of hope, you know, not only, you know, one, knowing what I have, but two, knowing that it would go away. But when I went home, you know, she prescribed me, topical cream to put on for the itching and stuff like that. And I immediately go online and I start to search up, what is this skin condition? You know, who else has it? You know, I'm looking in forums, support groups, YouTube videos, and I find like a plethora of YouTube videos of other ladies and men that have had Pityriasis rosea and what their experience was. And it was the exact same thing as mine. You know, they were having the exact same issues as me. But what really kind of bothered me is that in these videos, they were telling people how to get rid of it, you know, what to do to get rid of it. And that kind of irked me because there literally isn't anything you can do to get rid of it. It just goes away by itself. And so it made me upset that there was advertising like, oh, use African soap or use aloe vera, use an oatmeal bath, or do X, Y, and Z to get rid of your Pityriasis rosea. And I want to talk to anybody that either has Pityriasis rosea or they have a skin condition that alters their skin to look rough, to look patchy, to look scaly, to look bumpy, or whatever it is. For this past month, I have been going through it with myself. It's so hard to think of yourself as beautiful. You know, it's so hard to think of yourself as something amazing when every time you take off your clothes, you have 300 bumps over you. It messes with you when all you do is itch and all you do is just feel self-conscious. Like, I haven't been dating. I haven't been flirting with anybody. I haven't been talking to anybody in that way because of that fear of, what if I take off my clothes and that person thinks I'm disgusting, or that person judges me, or that person thinks I'm a disease? You know what I'm saying? And luckily, I am blessed enough to have my Pityriasis rosea in places where clothes can cover it. But not everybody is as lucky as me. Some people that have Pityriasis rosea, it stretches to their face. You know, it's on their hands, it's on their feet, it's invisible places that people can see. Luckily for me, mine's is just from my upper thighs up to my breast and armpits, and nothing above that. So I can hide my Rosea with clothes. I can hide it with things to make you think that my skin is normal and that I'm not fighting a battle within myself. And I wanted to make this video because it's been hard to look at myself every day. It's been hard to smile and to have confidence and to trick my mind into knowing that this will go away. Like I said, I've been living with it for a month now, and I have lost so much self-esteem to the point I'm thinking my body would never change. And luckily, I had such a beautiful dermatologist to speak love and light into me and to reassure me that this will go away. You know, we might not know when, but it will go away. It won't scar your body. You won't have to look at your body your entire life and see this Pityriasis rosea. And I just want to tell anybody out there that has any type of skin condition, please do not think you are ugly. Do not think you are dirty, you are nasty, you're a monster, or whatever it is your brain is making you think. It's so easy to look at old photos of yourself and remember what your body used to be and remember what your skin used to be like. Earn for that. But right now, I'm coming to the realization that for a while, this is what I'm going to look like. And it does look nasty and it does look disgusting, but it's me. And to be honest, I had a friend to tell me that, listen, if you were to date and somebody was to look at you as if you were a monster, if you were nasty, you do not need them in your life. You have no control over the skin conditions that you have, over the blemishes, the bumps, the blisters, the Harold's patches that you have over your body. That has nothing to do with you. And know that you did nothing to cause that. All it is that your body is sick and it's affection that is fighting off. That's it. Anybody can get sick. You can get sick at any time. So if you have this, or if you have any other condition that makes your skin change or deform, don't sit there and dwell on did I cause this to myself? Am I the reason I look like this? Am I the reason I'm this ugly, or whatever you want to say? It is hard, because not only can you see it every day, but for some people, the world can see it. And knowing that the world is thinking the exact same thing that you feel on the inside, it hurts. For me, I haven't shown a lot of people my Pityriasis rosea, but to the people I have shown it to, they have all said it looks disgusting. They have all, turned their head, frown their face. And it hurts when you're behind closed doors and you personally do it to yourself. And now you have somebody seeing it and they do it. And so it's like validation of what you already feel on the inside. And I don't want you to feel like that. You should know you're beautiful. You should know that whatever you have is temporary. And even if it's not, even if it is something that will be with you forever, you should know you're still gorgeous. Because it's important. I'm not going to sit here and tell you or try to advertise to you, hey, if you have Pityriasis rosea, this is what you can do to get rid of it, because there's nothing you can do. I've tried everything. I've tried aloe vera, coconut oil, the oatmeal baths. I've tried the vinegar trick, literally every suggestion, and nothing helps. I want you to know, if you have this, you have to live with it. And don't let those negative thoughts, don't let that low self-esteem take over who you really are. Don't let those thoughts make you think you are less than or unworthy, or make you believe that you are disgusting or ugly, because that's not true. It is a hard time, and it's a long time. And to be honest, I'm about to reach 2 months of having it, and I haven't seen any difference of curing. To be honest, still to this day, I find a new bump, each day, but I can't let that get to me. I can't let that rule my mind. I suggest, this is what I've been doing. I suggest hone in on a craft you like, your career, hang out with friends, do whatever you need to do to get your mind off of your skin condition. I've been taking extra hours at work. I've been watching TV shows. I've been trying to go out. I've been trying to do fun things to not think about what's up under my clothes. Because a lot of the times when I'm by myself, or when it's time to go to bed, or before I shower, or when it's time for me to shower, that's all I'm thinking about is how my skin looks, how it's perceived, or how I feel, how itchy it is, how there isn't a cure, how long it would take for this to go away, etc., etc. And it's not healthy, because at the end of the day, I cannot control Pityriasis, Rosea. I can't control the healing process or when it leaves. So if you ever get this skin condition or any other skin condition out there in the world, take your time. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel those things, but don't live in those thoughts too long. Grieve and then move on and start to realize, okay, how am I going to live with this until it's over? How am I going to incorporate this into my life? And some days I can look at the bumps on my body and I can see them as beautiful. And other days I look at the bumps on my body and I literally want to take a knife and cut my skin off. So take your time. Understand this is not a sprint, it is marathon. It's a race we're all going through, and we're all going to get through the finish line. It's important that you know that you are wonderful no matter how you look. And just know you're going to get through this. And I know that I'm going to get through this. And it's important, if you experience this or if you experience something else, to tell your story. Don't be ashamed of it. I wasn't going to get on this microphone and tell anybody what I've been going through for the past month. But to see how hard it's been on my mental, to see how hard it's been on my self-esteem, I have to tell the ones that come after me that will eventually be diagnosed with this what to expect, what to understand, what to see, and how to feel about it. Just know you got me. I'm here for you if you need it.